Right now.
So go ahead and just try off of there, and we'll see how he does. Because I could see, because you see how he got closer to you?
Yeah.
So he did feel it.
Yeah.
It's just, there we go.
I didn't push it though. I don't know why he did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A little spasm?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Great.
Good turn. Good, now walk slow here. Slower. You're a fast walker.
Yeah.
Good, slow turn, good pivot, and then slow to stop here. Okay, so like right there, see how he got ahead? So realistically speaking, if you're working with him and that happens, even though you're coming to a stop and you start to see this, immediately go into that turn and tap.
Okay.
Okay. Most people think like, well, I was coming to a stop, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And they go, right, but for the obedience factor of it, he should be stopping with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I can see he was matching your speed really well. Maybe do one more quick run.
Okay.
When you come to your stop, I'm gonna have you do a few more slower steps and then come to that stop and see if that helps him.
Yeah.
Because I can see you're a really fast walker.
We go on long fast walks, so
Yeah.
I am a fast walker.
So the reason for slowing down is with these guys, or dogs, not pugs, but dogs in general, is that they go into autopilot and then it gets really hard for them to keep with it. So expect that when you walk with Teddy, you may have to just naturally slow down.
Okay.
And that'll really test if he's paying attention.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they're with you, but they're with you because you're walking so fast.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
One more?
Okay.
Go ahead and slow, slow, slow. Then come to that stop. Much better, okay? You're gonna come down, you're gonna do your turn, same thing, and when you hit this area, real slow to that stop, okay?
Cheese.
Very good. Right? So so he stopped just a tiny bit ahead, but much better than the last one.
Yeah.
Because there was more slow.
Okay.
So what we're gonna work on are the nuances of the heel. So you have the first half. Last week was teaching him to pay attention to you. And then I think the only thing I mentioned was make sure you slow down before you turn and stop, which your turns were really good. Those were all fine. It was just the stops, right?
Got it.
So for the heel, there's things that we do body language wise that cue to him what you're doing. So one thing is we're going to go ahead and issue the word heel. And when you cue the word, I find it easiest to say the word first, and then you move forward with your left leg. Okay? So dogs have a wider periphery than we do. So he can actually see what's going on here. So this, your left leg, or your leg in general, actually tells him a lot of information. So like when you're slowing down, and dogs notice this stuff really quick.
Yeah.
So like especially with the bigger dogs, it's more noticeable because you'll see them kind of like lock. Where they see the sudden change of pace and then they're able to lock in. So now what we're going to do here is very simple. You're going to say heel. If you want to say Teddy, it's optional. Heel, and then left leg. And then you'll start moving. You'll come just a few steps, slow down, come to a stop. You should automatically sit. Wait a moment. Heel, left leg, okay? And I'm just have you do that 5 times, just back and forth. And then we'll move on to the next one.
Like heel, and then stop, and then turn.
Right.
Heel.
So if I practice with them, it'd be heel, left leg, moving, maybe I turn. We don't say anything here.
Yeah.
Okay? Then I slow down.
Okay.
Stop. Heel. Leg. So you don't have to go far.
Okay.
But you want to get at least more than 5 steps in.
Okay.
Because then it becomes too abrupt that the dog will just they won't be able to stop the dog. Because it's like start, stop, start, stop, start.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Good. Right, good correction. There it is, good. Relax that left arm. Better, that's okay.
Heel.
Good. That's okay. Yep, you went wrong way, that's fine. Lightly pull up here. There you go. Good. So if he doesn't sit right away, you can just lightly pull up.
Okay.
The prong should put him in position. If not, then you would give that tap and he should put his butt down.
Okay.
Okay, but that was good.
Okay.
Good turn. Good. 2 more.
Heel.
That's okay for now. 1 more.
Heel.
Good turn. Good. Yeah, and you got connection, by the way, right? What's your number right now?
32.
Let's try 26. His reactions might...
I didn't push it when he sat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know.
You must have heard me go like, oh, she's
Yeah.
that tap.
I think he just expects it, probably.
Because earlier, did you tap him earlier during the walk? For like lagging or something?
Yeah.
You did? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Because I saw a quick little movement
Yeah,
there.
when he was like...
It's super rare that I get a dog that does like ghost fast, you know, ghost nicks. I just keep an eye on him.
Okay.
I'm assuming you haven't used it a lot for the auto sits.
For
With
the
the
what?
tap. For the auto sits.
No.
No, yeah. So it's weird that he would do that.
Maybe he
'cause-
just felt like this collar and
assume
got it.
for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. So all that was really good, right? So now you have your on switch. Heel means walk with me, stay with me, sit when I stop. Okay, so heel is 2 parts. Last week we taught Teddy. I was gonna say Theo for a second. Teddy's a lot of dog
He
names.
goes by Theo too.
Oh, does he?
Well,
oh yeah,
sometimes.
Theodore.
He goes by like any variation.
I didn't even think about that. I had a dog named that I trained named Theo, so I was thinking like him. So we last time I saw you, we taught him to pay attention to you. That's all we focused on. Now this class is going to be pay attention to you, but now you have to give him communication on what you're doing.
Okay.
Right? So that's why the slowing down is so important. Because if you don't slow down and you just stop, he's never going to catch that.
Yeah.
Right? It's too abrupt. So heel turns everything on. So technically, if you walk outside and you don't say anything, technically he's free to do his doggy thing.
Okay.
So did we talk about break last time?
Yeah, we talked about it, and when I would walk him with this, I would use it to like say you can sniff around, go to the bathroom.
Correct.
But that was like only 5 times. So
Sure. So
yeah, we've been using it.
heel is the on switch, break is the off switch.
Okay.
So heel clocks him in. At that point, boom, he's here. He's not allowed to do anything else.
Okay.
Break is okay. Now you're free to roll around, pee, poop, and do your dog thing.
Okay.
So that's very important to remember.
Okay.
Because a lot of times people will go outside and they're like, oh, just the dog was pulling and all that stuff. You know, and I'm like, well, did you cue the command or anything? Because once we're at this point, it's not default.
Yeah.
Now it's cued, right? And
Yeah.
like, oh no, I forgot. Like that's fine. Okay?
Yeah.
So the next thing we're gonna go over are leg movements.
Okay.
So people, and I was watching you, you were doing your turns correctly. Okay. However, when I tell people do them a specific way, they tend to think too much.
Okay.
And then they start to make mistakes, okay? So your pivoting and all that stuff was correct, but I'm gonna tell you the specifics of it.
Okay.
But now that you're gonna be up here, you're probably gonna make some mistakes.
Okay.
So, the one thing I've learned is that it's the leg opposite is what you're leading. Okay? So what that means is if Teddy is here, if I'm going to take a left turn, I'm actually going to lead with my right leg. Okay? If you lead with your left leg, if it's a bigger dog, you stumble over them. Little dogs, you're going to punch them out the way. Okay? So when you cross with your right leg, he should see that because he's here. That yes, he'll naturally pivot with you, or dogs will stop and allow you to just cross over. Good. Okay, there's no, for them, if they stop or turn, it doesn't matter. Okay? It's just that they don't get in the way. Okay? So the next one is the pivot, which you did a lot of, going 180 to the right? So we do that for corrections. But then, like, let's say you forget something and you need to go back this way, but you don't have the space. Maybe there's people coming here, and you can't cross like this. You would do your pivot. Okay? So when you're walking, of course, when you slow down, you're going to extend your left leg like this, back on your right leg, back on your left leg, down like that. It's left, right, left. Okay? So it's just a quick 180, left, right, left. Okay? Very important that you slow down prior to that turn. Okay? Because then he's not going to catch it. Now, if Teddy just passes you, you don't worry about this left, right, left, because he's already gone. You just 180, tap, boom, and then we keep going. Okay? Because people get confused with that. Because now they're thinking that everything has to be cued. It's only cued when he's paying attention. Okay? So let's say you slow down, you extend the left leg, but you see him keep going. He's not paying attention anymore. Then I'm not worried about being super dramatic about it. I'm just going to turn and tap. That makes sense? So I exaggerate things in the beginning, more so for the human. If you get it, you don't feel like you have to do what I do. You know, so you don't have to be like this. I do that for you, okay? So then again, going left, or the crossover turns, we would slow down. It would be right, and I cut it at a 90-degree angle. Left, and then I cut again with my right leg. That's the same space. So if you're on an average sidewalk, and you do that movement, you stay exactly within the width of the sidewalk. Okay, so I'll do that. Like I'll use the practicing the sidewalk here as my guide. So if I'm here and I go right, left, and then this is where the sidewalk would end, right, and now I'm going back to the opposite. And I just keep doing that, you know, until the owner gets the movements. And then you use them as you need them. Okay. Now if you're just going to make a soft left, you know, you would just cut in. And obviously just keep going that way. You wouldn't continue with it. So we're gonna start with each one. We'll do a batch of 5 of each. Questions so far?
No.
I'll have you start with the pivots, okay? So that's going to be to your right. Walk, make sure you slow down first. Extend the left leg, back on the right leg. Pull the left, and now you're going down. Stop. Wait a moment. Heel, left leg. And then do a pivot when you're ready. Left, right, left. Okay?
So first pivot, I'm walking and I'm going right, like I normally do. That's what we're practicing.
Correct. But now, you know, if Teddy's paying attention, he should, and he was. So I saw you doing your pivots already. And he was following you and you were doing them correctly, but now I'm telling you what you were doing originally was correct, but here's the specifics of it. And then hopefully you don't get confused. Like
we'll see. We'll see.
Other questions?
No.
Alrighty, go for it.
So use the heel command?
Correct.
Great. Heel. I didn't nick him there. He did this.
Right. Now, there was one thing you forgot, though.
What?
Well, guess.
My feet.
And?
Slow down?
Yes.
Okay.
The slowdown is super important.
Okay, that's why he's right here, probably.
Yes. So you did the pivot. That your movements were correct, but it was real quick into it, and then you followed it with the immediate stop, right? So it's 2 abrupt changes. So then he when you came to that stop, he was still in that forward motion. And I'm gonna stress this a lot with you. I've worked with a lot of fast walkers. And that's why I say I'll tell them, you know what? Just when you walk your dog, just already slow down. Because they get so stuck on just moving fast that they forget about the slowdowns, and then it eventually like untrains the dog. Okay. So like I have a client right now. She actually just lives over by Travis Park, which is not too far from here. And she's a super fast walker. And I told her one day, I was like, you know what? You just have to slow down.
Yeah.
Whenever you walk your dog, when you walk by yourself, I don't care.
Okay.
Because she wasn't getting any of the movements, but then she was getting frustrated.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, it's not the dog.
Yeah.
I'm like, the dog knows the stuff, because as soon as we adjust everything, he's great.
Yeah.
So then she's like, and then like fast forward 2 weeks later, she's like, you know what, Jesse, slowing down just permanently when I walk my dog made a huge difference, because she's already aware.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she already has to like walk slower.
Right.
And then she has to think again, like, now I have to slow down even from that for the turns and stuff.
Okay. Got it.
So a lot of people do it, no big deal. But for Teddy, it's gonna be a big deal. Okay.
Got it.
Whenever you're ready.
Heel.
Good. So their turn tap, because you pay out. There you go. Because you did your job, right? You did your job correctly. You communicated, but he lost track. So then we jump into the correction. Good. Light pull up. There it is. Like that. Perfect. Right? So it's a lot of things to think about, right?
Yeah.
Now you got to think about your leg movements, and then it's like you come to a stop, and then there's Teddy.
Yeah.
And then remembering, oh crap,
Yeah.
I have to correct.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Got it.
Let's try 3 more. His face. Good. Perfect.
Yeah.
2 more. Excellent. We're gonna make 1 tweak. Okay, you're technically correct, but I can see Teddy struggling with it.
Okay.
Is you're doing a heel to an immediate pivot,
Okay.
right? That's what you did for the last 2.
Okay.
So, and then for him, I don't know if you saw, he's kind of twirling around, like,
Yeah.
where are you going?
Yeah.
So what I would do is heel.
Yeah.
I'm fine with the turnaround, but you want to at least get this in to get him going forward, so that he's able to actually turn with you smoothly.
Okay. Got it.
Right now, he's like just doing a quick spin around and like
Yeah.
looking for you, and then he's catching up.
Yeah.
So that should make it a lot more smoother.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
Right. Heel. So what
You
do
failed me, Teddy.
I know.
So up tap. Oh, yeah, he's good. Right. When you move forward, do a more pronounced step.
Okay.
Okay.
Heel.
There you go. Better. Yep. Almost. So like right here, I'm gonna have you anchor yourself. You're gonna lightly pull forward and give a tap. Tap, tap, up, like that. Perfect. Okay. So that's a minor detail. But as you get more comfortable with this, I'm gonna start being more strict about this. Okay. Now at the end of the day, I do understand it's basic family pet stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So I really don't care that he's off that much.
Yeah.
Right. However, in the future, let's say you stop, you're talking to a friend, and he's spaced out. That space out ends up becoming a wandering motion. And then the owner typically, since they're stuck in a conversation, will just naturally just give the leash and become engaged in that conversation. But the dog just learned, like, oh, I stopped over here, and then I can gradually come over here, and Mom gave me the leash now.
Yeah, and it's like annoying and
right.
get him stuff.
So his job is to be here.
Okay.
Right. So the more strict you are with what he's supposed to do, the less likely he's going to be to go off, venture off. Okay. At the end of the day, I always tell people, your dog, I don't care. The things that I care about are that we have the tightness, which you do have. We have auto sits, which you do have as well. And then like on the recall, like certain things, because that's the stuff that's important. And there's other stuff I'm not too worried about for the family pet.
Yeah.
Because I care about the function more than anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for you, again, optional. But if you're one to have like stop and talk to neighbors and stuff, that's where you definitely want to go there.
Yeah. Okay.
Question five. No,
just gonna practice it.
Okay.
Yeah. But it makes sense.
Yes. So now he's got a visual cue. So the first one that you did, you're like, oh, I didn't even have to, right? That's why. Because you communicate.
Yeah.
So I tell people it's like dancing. So a good dancer can make an inexperienced dancer look good because they know how to lead.
Yeah.
Okay? With dog training, it's the same thing. So when I work with dogs myself, people are like, oh my God, my dog's just right. They're getting it. I'm like, or I'm actually doing a lot of things in my body that is communicating to the dog, hey, this is what I'm doing, which allows them to sync up with me and pay attention, right? Because dogs are experts and masters of body language. Humans were terrible at it.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. So dogs, since they know how to read really well, as soon as I step into the picture and I start doing stuff, they're like, oh, Jesse, you speak my language. Mm-hmm. That it looks like, I don't say they're not smart, but it looks like they're catching on very quick to just a simple thing when really there's more behind it happening. Yeah. Okay? So now what we're going to do is the crossover turns. So that's going to be the turns into Teddy.
Okay.
So again, when you do these turns, you're going to want to lead it with your right leg, and you're cutting right in front of him. Okay. And he would either stop or he should start already turning to make space for your left leg, and then you would cut in again for the sake of space, and then you should be going the opposite way. Okay? If you do this correctly, you should stay within the same path. Mm-hmm. If you find yourself in the grass, you disappear.
Okay. I hope I don't, because I was walking up here next to that trash can and like almost wiped out in the mud. There was like mud all over my. Yes, it looked like this, but it's soft. It is watery, slippery. So watch out. But yeah, I don't want to do that.
Careful, Teddy.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. Heel.
Good.
Should I slow down and stop?
Correct. Good. Now, one tweak.
Okay.
What do you think that tweak's going to be?
Slowing down?
Yes.
Yeah.
And also more pronounced. Okay. So when you did your turn, you kind of did a 45.
Uh-huh.
When you want to do a 90. You want to be right in his face. Okay. Okay. So that's what's going to help you put the brakes on. Okay. Because if you do the 45, the dogs will keep going.
You did, yeah.
And the next thing you know, you're sending them on that way.
Okay. Okay. Heel.
Good. Much better. Much better. Good. 3 more. Right. Keep going. Keep going. Excellent. You're fine. Good.
Heel. I left that there.
No, you led with your right, but you didn't slow down.
Oh, yeah. Heel.
You're okay. Thank you. You're okay. Thank you. Much better on that one. Slow to stop when you're ready. Good. And I'm going to have you do one more. Okay? So, on one of them, your cut-in was good with the right, but then you hesitated on the left.
Yeah.
And I think it was because you didn't want to kick him, right? Yeah. So don't be afraid of actually making contact with him.
Okay.
You just want to mean it. Okay. And the reason for that is, let's say you did a real sharp cut on Teddy, and you did bump his head, right? As long as you're leading with the right leg, it's going to send his body backwards. Mm-hmm. If you did it with your left leg, it's going to send his body outwards.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So as long as you're doing it correctly, the contact isn't bad. Okay. Because that's actually what tells Teddy, whoa,
yeah,
I better pay attention to mom. Yeah. Because these things happen, and if I don't pay attention, I'm going to be in the way, and then I get a leg in the face. Okay. Right? Yeah. So the way your movement was, it was correct. So if you did lead with that left leg, he would have made contact, but it would have bucked him back, and he would have cleared your space for the turn. Okay. And these are like little nuances. Yeah. He's already catching on, and you're doing them correctly, but just so that you know. Okay. Okay. When you're ready.
Deal.
Good. How would you rate yourself?
5
Out of?
10.
That's so low.
I know. I'm not confident with it yet.
I gave you 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Do you know what your biggest, what your enemy's gonna be?
Slowing down.
Yes.
Absolutely.
For sure. Okay. Because everything, your movements are correct. You're remembering your legs, all that stuff's correct. So that was super easy. It's just the speed. Okay. So I'm gonna have you do a bit of like a freestyle run here.
Okay.
And you're gonna shift between your pivots, your right 180 pivots to your crossover turns, heeling and stopping, picking up and slowing down. Okay. So you do it however you want to. If you're doing everything correctly, Teddy should be spot on.
Okay.
Okay. Aside from maybe the occasional distraction, or if you forget to slow down, of course.
Yeah.
But really, once you got this level of attention, there should be no need for remote. It's really just body language.
Okay.
Okay?
Cool.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Yep.
Good. It's all right. That was a good fix. You got it.
Yep, and then that's probably going to be required.
Good.
I didn't slow down enough.
Correct. But you realize it, so that's good. We might have to get you like some weighted
Ankle
shoes
weights
or
or
something.
something.
Yeah. Good turn. Right. Good job. But you can see where he kind of slows down.
Yeah.
And he pivots with you just a few more. And slow to stop when you're ready. Turned away from you. He's like, I don't want to get in trouble, Mom.
Yeah.
Very good, right?
Yes.
So he knows, you can see the turn.
Yeah.
It's really just the speed still.
Okay. Yeah.
So in the back of your head, just have me nagging you.
Okay.
Slow down. And I can, for you and that lady are like the exact same.
Yeah.
When you walk with Teddy, already just slow yourself down.
Okay.
When you're doing heel, if it's break and we're just walking, I don't care.
Okay.
Because he's on release then.
Yeah.
Right? But once you've given the heel cue, that's when things really matter.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's gonna be good because, like, you know, in Chicago, it's like it might be fine if this card was empty, he could be on break, but you know, if like people are coming,
Correct.
that would be amazing if you could get to that level.
Yes, and you can. Like, I already see it.
Yeah.
Right?
Good.
It's really just, he's doing his part, and then you have to do your part. It's like a team thing, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, all right, Teddy, we're going to walk to Busy Lakeview, and I'm a fast walker, so you know what? Let me just dial it down 50%.
Yeah.
So that he can do better, be more mindful, and therefore catch your cue. Okay? Other questions?
No.
So, the way I structure things, I'm not sure if I went over this last time, is 80% work to like 20% play.
Okay.
So part of the issue that dogs have, especially little guys, is that since they're small, it kind of reminds people of puppies.
Yeah.
That they look at them as a permanent puppy. And they let a lot of things go, but then other problems happen, right? So your dog becomes what you allow them to do, or what you allow them to practice more often than not. So if we practice a lot of freedom, do whatever you want type of stuff, your dog becomes that kind of personality.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when we start to do 80% work, where it's like, hey, you're focused, you have to do this, there's consequences if you don't, this and that, and then you get a reward or play a reward, then you start to get a more structured dog.
Yeah.
So when you're like, oh, like he hasn't barked at the front door as much as he used to, it's because now there's been discipline and now you're practicing structure. Okay. So in the beginning, the walks seem like training walks because you are training.
Right.
But eventually, it just becomes your walks.
Yeah.
Because he gets so good at it.
Yeah.
Like, he's just got the equipment on, and you're like, heel, and we just walk. So like my guys, we would go on 4 to like 6 mile walks every morning, and then there would be no leash to be off leash and go up the lakefront. I'd say heel, and boom, they were there. We walked like people, segways, dogs, cop cars, lots of distractions. Boom. Because I practiced it so much that it became, and I got really good at it, that it wasn't training anymore. It was just, I just said we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's learning really well, getting there really the way it's supposed to. One thing I will point out, it's a tiny detail, okay, is technically he's not supposed to.
Okay.
Okay. When we do obedience, the reason for the black and whiteness of it is because you understand the gray area. He does.
Yeah.
Okay? So like I know right now, like Teddy, he's either tired or he's kind of like mopey because there's discipline now.
Definitely mopey.
Right.
Yeah.
Is let's say for instance he was tired.
Okay.
There's good reason behind him like.
Yeah. Or hot.
Or hot.
But it's not really hot.
Exactly, right? So the owner, oh, you're hot, whatever, I'm going to ignore that. You're not doing anything bad on the scope or scale of what dogs could do.
Yeah.
Which is mainly aggression.
Yeah.
Everybody compares everything to aggression. As long as my dog's not aggressive, they're not a bad dog. Yeah, they're really needy, they're not a bad dog.
Yeah.
Oh, they're really jumpy, they're not a bad dog, they don't like it. I'm like, well, like it's still not healthy, right?
Yeah.
So, let's say it's really hot, you come to a stop, Teddy goes, man, I need to lay down, and you let it slide. I get it. But for Teddy, he just thinks I was under control, and then I just decided I don't need to do that.
Okay.
And mom let it happen. Right?
Okay.
So he doesn't understand that you're logical.
Yeah.
That you're making the exception because you know he's just hot.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So like, especially when I deal with younger dogs that are still potty training, I'll tell the owner, just if the dog stops to keep going and tap.
Okay.
And they're like, Jesse, but the walk is meant for the potty.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get that. However, once you cue heel is very strict. Walk with me, stay with me, sit and I stop. Plus this other stuff.
Yeah.
There is no stopping the sniff, stopping the pee, stopping the play, laying down. That's not heel, right?
Yeah.
So it's like right. I'm working right now.
Yeah.
My job is to teach you and Teddy, or to teach you to teach Teddy.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not off doing other things that are not related to my job at this point.
Yeah.
Right. Same thing for him. It's very strict. And as soon as you start to give leniency, he's like, oh, sure, Teddy, go pee, right? You untrain your dog.
Okay.
He's learning every day. So he could be perfect for a year, and then you're like, you know what, Teddy, it's been a year? Like, you should know better, right? You know what heel is. And you start walking, you go to the kiddo, and you let it slide. That's been a year, you know what heel is. And you let it happen more and more. Next thing you know, it's back to pee on whatever, stop whenever I want, lay down whenever I want, greet any dog whenever I want. You've now untrained.
Okay.
Dogs are constantly learning. What happens is once you've taught the skill and you reinforce it, eventually reinforcing with remote goes away. It's present and you're using it.
Yeah.
Right? However, if we start to lay off the consequences and stuff, then you relearn things. You go, the rules have now changed.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So that's why I tell people this isn't like a quick fix and then you're done with life, or for his training for life. Like it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And for me it was super easy because this is just how I am.
Yeah.
And in the beginning it's a lot of work, especially because I had 5 dogs at one point.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But once I taught them all, they learned everything, then life was easy.
Yeah.
It was easier.
Right.
They already knew what to do.
Yeah, definitely.
So, nothing out of the ordinary here. So, when it comes to, like, let's say, I don't care about this right now, but let's say you're on an actual walk, you're in heel, you come to a stop, you're at a red light, he goes to lay down, I lightly pull up and tap.
Okay.
I don't say sit, because you're correcting a heel. Right?
Yeah.
So it's not a sit, it's an auto sit.
Yeah.
So if you say sit, you would have to say heel.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Because that's two commands, or like they're two separate things.
Correct.
Okay.
So sit means put your butt on the ground, don't move.
Yeah.
Right? So if I were to start moving again, I would expect you wouldn't move. Right?
Yeah.
So then I'd have to go from sit to heel, so now you move with me.
Yeah. And I would definitely forget that.
Yeah. And it's a tiny little nuance type of thing. Once you get used to it, you don't really think about it.
Yeah.
But your new command always overrides your old command, whether it's a release or another. So sit, stay, down, come, heel, place, and break. Okay, those are like the 7 commands. So if I'm walking with Teddy and I say break, right? He does his business. Well, now he's on break. Then in order to start to heel again, I have to reinitiate it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If I told Teddy place, which means go to your bed, and he does, that is now the new command So if I decide to start walking away, he wouldn't follow.
Yeah.
He would stay put. So if I needed that, heel, boom, now we go again. Okay. So as we teach more, it'll start to make more sense. But just keep that in mind. Because a lot of people will, because if the dog already knows sit from before, they'll do that. And they'll say sit. And they'll start walking and the dog doesn't move. And they're like, why did the dog move? I'm like, what did you say?
Yeah.
And then now you can say heel.
Okay.
Questions? I'm going to have you do a quick little run again. Be sure to do stops between your turns and pivots and stuff.
Okay.
And I'm going to have you change your pace as well. Okay. Okay. And then I think we'll have, oh no, we have 10 more minutes. We'll do that. Okay? Okay. No questions? No. All right.
Heel.
Good. Right, good. I like how you came in. Almost. That was like a 15% turn there.
Right.
Right, yep. And then relax that arm. Good. Good. That's okay. That's okay. That's fine for now. Okay. I'm just going to care about the sit, okay?
Yep.
All right. Go ahead and slow to a stop. Now you cheated a little bit there. Do you know what you did? That's okay. What did you do?
Okay. What?
On that turn, you cheated a little bit. What was it?
I feel like I took too many steps. Like
No, your steps are correct.
How did I hold him away?
Yes.
Okay.
You slowed him down with your left hand.
Okay. Got it.
So a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
When you pull back, you actually tell them to pull forward. So what happens is you start to do that more and more just from force of habit, because it's our instinct to control physically, and we're trying to control mentally, right? Is always keep that slack, and if you give them like maybe 4 more inches, it'll remove some of that for you, because then you have to go even further back. Then now it's even more noticeable. Okay? Your movement was correct, your turn was correct. It was going to go smoothly. I think maybe you saw something and you thought it wasn't.
Yeah.
So when you get caught up, keep in what you're doing, movement-wise, right? So when you did the earlier one, you did like a soft left turn, right?
Yeah.
It was incorrect, but I would have just committed and made a really pronounced left leg movement.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, like, and things maybe would have gotten screwed up, but the main thing is people, when they mess up, they tend to hold back. And I go, don't hold back. You actually just want to forge forward to compensate. Otherwise, when you go back, you lose the dog. And then it becomes a bigger mess than it needs to be, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Heel.
Good. It's okay. That's okay. Right.
I did it with my left leg again.
Oh, what's that left arm? You did with your left? It looked like you're right.
I mean, it felt like my left. I don't know.
Sure.
It was definitely awkward.
The left turns are hard for people. The pivots tend to be the easiest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's correct. Good. Yep, right. Good. You got it. Good pivot. Right. Good job. Good job. You got it. Good. There you go. Good, slow to stop. That's okay. Much better. Much better. Okay?
Yeah,
so yeah, the left turns. Right?
Yeah.
So what I suggest to do in the beginning, because you have to develop your muscle memory, is before your walk, I come out, give Teddy a potty break, heel, and then I'll do like 5 heel to stops, then 5 left turns, then 5 right turns, or pivots, and then I'll go, now let's warm up. Okay. So it's like a quick warm up.
Yeah.
Okay? So you're not going any further than like this amount of distance really, because you're just repeating a lot.
Yeah, okay.
And then now the hard part is when you're on your walk and you hit a corner and it's like, oh, I'm gonna turn left around the corner. Now you have to start timing your legs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So then you get used to it. Like I don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah.
I just naturally do it now. But the warm up will help get the movements in your muscle memory faster. And then it's just application.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is heel.
Okay.
Okay. This is the whole of heel. Walk with me, stay with me, sit when I stop. You have your cue, and then you also have your visual cues to tell Teddy what you're doing. Okay. Questions?
No.
Life so far. I'm thinking here, so the next thing you want to cover is resource guarding, right?
Yeah.
That's simple. Correcting behaviors in the home, also simple. What else are you looking to address with Teddy?
I actually...
Do you have a list?
Yeah.
Cool.
I went over it with my roommates and I was like...
I can see you guys all huddled together at the table.
Yeah.
All right, guys. The Teddy rehab list. What do we
Yeah,
got?
exactly. All right. And we might have already touched on all of them.
Sure. Oh, okay.
But I just want to make sure. So, Teddy behaviors. Okay. The things we want to eliminate are any sort of aggression towards people, and that will be covered with the resource guarding.
Right. So, aggression towards people.
Well, with resource guarding.
Resource
mostly. Yeah, because he doesn't really have aggression towards people.
Correct. Yeah. So, just as FYI, for aggression, there's always a root, right?
Okay.
So, like, if someone says this dog's human aggressive, I'll go why.
Okay.
Right. And then, like in your case, over a resource. Like,
Okay.
So he's not really aggressive towards people. He's aggressive when you go towards his resource, right?
Yeah, yeah.
In other cases, a dog will be aggressive towards a human
Traumatized or something.
when they go try to touch them, but it's because they're scared.
Yeah.
So they're not human aggressive, they're fear aggressive.
Okay.
But because the human is pushing them into a fear behavior, that's why they're seeking aggression. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
whenever you see a behavior from Teddy, always try to look deeper.
Yeah.
Because it helps you understand things a bit more.
Yeah.
Okay? The way they view the world and the way we view the world is very different now. A lot of stuff that he's doing is, like, resource guarding is natural.
Yeah.
Like, if he was to be a wild dog, he'd need to fight for his resources.
Yeah.
And if other dogs took it from him, well, he may not survive.
Yeah.
In the wild, right? And we don't want that.
Right.
But obviously, in the human world, it's not.
He would definitely
healthy.
survive based on what I've seen. Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's fine. Not
Okay.
a problem.
Also, I just noticed he didn't react when that dog kind of got.
Oh, I was gonna say-
He didn't react at all.
Like, reactive as in greet them or reactive as in bark, bark, bark?
Great.
Okay. Because when I think reactive, I
Oh,
think bark, bark.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so I was going to clarify.
I'm a little impressed that he just kind of sat there, you know?
I'm very impressed with you, Teddy.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, aggression towards people when he has things in his mouth.
Correct.
Which is what I wrote, but I didn't say that. Okay. Would like to eliminate him jumping on people's laps without permission.
Sure.
Like, would like him to, like, stare at us and, like, sit there, you know, and then we can be like, okay, come on. And then he goes. But, like, he loves to just, like, jump on people's laps on the couch.
Correct.
He knows not to do it with me anymore, but, like, sometimes we have stuff in our hands, you know.
Right.
Okay.
You have soup or something.
So you told me a little bit about that last time, where if we want to eliminate, or I guess it would be like right before he jumps on people.
Correct. If you see the
catching
thought
that?
process, right?
Okay,
That's
got it.
the easiest right now. When we do the zooms,
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you, because there's going to be, he's already on the lap, he's thinking about being on the lap,
Yeah.
or we don't have the eco in him, right? You can have all these different scenarios.
Okay.
So that's not a problem. That'll
Okay,
be easy to
cool.
address too.
Focusing on people food, like he's an opportunist and walk away from food, so would love him to like know what's ours and what's his,
Okay.
and avoiding like getting into trash and stuff.
Okay.
He wanders around the house sometimes. I don't know if it's because he's bored or just being a dog, but he'll get into like my roommates all have to keep their doors shut, which we're still going to continue doing to give him the best chance, but like you know, there's stuff that happens, and then that leads to resource guarding. So that would be nice.
He's just looking around like, you're carrying out all my dirty laundry.
I know. And then he had what we call the territorial blackout, where we were on our back patio, and there was a chill dog who he's met before out on walks. This dog is like a really chill lab mix. They sniffed each other, everything was fine. And then we were on our patio, and our neighbors had this dog over because it's their friend.
Sure.
And he went to the bathroom like in our lawn, which is probably like 10 feet away from where we were sitting, and Teddy just lost it, like barking uncontrollably, like did not like this dog being in his territory, I guess.
All right, so again, you're out in the lawn. Yeah. Was he on a leash?
He was on a leash with a prong, and I was like trying to, you know, yank and say no, but he like lost it, blacked out,
That might be too far gone?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, like,
no.
He wasn't responding to the prong call.
Yeah, because he was too far gone or blacked out in the sense that he couldn't get through the prong collar.
Yeah.
Not uncommon. Okay. E-collar will break through.
Okay, cool. Okay. So I'll just keep him on the e-collar when we're outside, or just outside where we can see other dogs. Yeah?
Yes. So right now, what I would limit you to is if you want to correct behaviors with the e-collar, totally for it. If you're outside, only if he's on a leash connected to you.
Yeah.
Okay. The concern is, let's say he blacks out.
Yeah.
Okay? And you start remoting him, you have to override. You're going to have to crank it up possibly.
Yeah. Okay.
Since we've not done recall, he could book it.
Okay.
Right? So if he's attached to you, I'm not worried. Where is he going to go?
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not there yet without. I always have his leash on, even inside for the prong correction. You know.
Sure.
But okay. That's until we do recall. I will never have his leash off.
Yeah, outside. Inside the home, it doesn't matter because where he's going to run.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
All those behaviors is probably just 2 classes, the 2 Zoom classes.
Okay, cool.
So obedience-wise, I feel you're going to get a lot more.
Yeah.
So the reason why it's so easy is because stopping a behavior is super simple. It's just stop a behavior. We make things more complicated by adding more steps. So like someone will say, Jesse, my dog jumps on people, they need to learn how to sit.
Yeah.
And they go, or you just teach them how to jump on people.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care if you're standing, laying down, or sitting, just don't jump on people.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you make it simple, and it's just like, oh, okay, cool, we'll cover a lot of ground. All the stuff that you said there is really just a couple of classes. Once you understand how to correct behaviors, those would be the Zooms.
Yeah.
So save the Zooms for those.
Okay.
And in the in-person stuff, we can do the obedience stuff.
Okay. Cool.
If you'd like to do recall, we can do recall as soon as the next time I see you.
Okay.
30-foot long leash.
30-foot long leash.
Correct. If you go on Amazon, they're like $8 to $12.
Okay.
Nothing fancy. You're only going to be using it while you're training. But 30 feet is like the perfect length.
Okay.
And if you don't want your leash to get dirty, sometimes we let it drag. So if you have the old one you want to bring, you know.
Okay.
Otherwise,
I don't have a long one, so I just go for one.
Well, yeah, because you have the long one, but then he's also going to be having this one as well.
Oh,
So then the short leash gets dirty.
Okay. You know what? Yeah, they always get dirty anyways, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you can always wash it.
Yeah.
But some people are a little kind of picky about it.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't want to get this leash dirty.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But the 30 foot's going to get dirty.
I think recall would be a good idea, just in case, you know.
It's the
and
most
tags
important.
on to the obedience and everything too.
Correct.
So we should do that.
So for what you have, what I would imagine is this leash walking, come when called, and then stationary control, which is an added measure to the, hey, I'm having 10 people come over and I don't want Teddy all over them. So like, let's say you don't want to manage Teddy for 10 people.
Yeah.
You just tell them, go lay down over there and don't move.
Yeah.
You just prevent it from happening,
Yeah.
right? Or if you're having a smaller group over and you're like, well, I don't want to have Teddy be so strict,
Yeah.
but I know I have the means to be able to control him because it's just a smaller group of people, then you have the other approach as well. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the trifecta. It's leash walking, come when I call you, and don't move for a period of time. That's like the real basic family control stuff.
Yeah.
And then the behavior stuff is super simple.
Okay.
So that's what I would imagine we're getting done within the time frame.
Yeah.
If something else pops up that you feel like, no, this is more important, I'm more than happy to make a detour and address that because you're boss lady.
Yeah.
But otherwise, that's what I would imagine.
Okay.
Compared to considering what you just
Yeah,
listed.
that's
the
all that I
easy stuff.
have. The rest we've talked about.
Yeah. Okay. So whenever you're ready for that, set up the Zooms through Maria.
Okay, cool.
You can start that as soon as you're ready, and then the next one we'll do recall.
Okay, are we doing outside again next Friday at noon, or should I do the Zooms first?
You can do the Zoom in between. You don't have to.
Oh,
leave.
okay, cool.
Yeah, because it's
guess
just
that
added
makes sense.
information. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'll talk to Maria
Correct.
about that. Sweet.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
The e-collar makes things really easy.
It does.
I like that we have.